Testing audio. Testing the chat room. Testing audio. Okay, we're going to test the chat feature. Test chat. Seems to be working. Alright, it's another minute or so. Today I'm going to do the standard Facebook group archive. You know, what's going on, recent items, discussions. Good, bad, and the ugly. Mostly good. There's no ugly. Alright. I'm also going to give away a few items. I got them on my... Let me show you my camera real quick. If you're at the chat already, well, I'm going to leave this open. Just grab a few more items. Let's see, we got 1, 2. I'm going to give away a hardcover alphabet book. That's it. Alright. Today, I got a couple of books just laying around. I just got a new proof copy. I'm going to sign all of these books for you guys. Work around the cable here. This one is alphabet abstract. This is a hardcover book. It's really nice. It's the simple, very simple patterns. The whole alphabet, I believe. Yeah, it's got the complete alphabet, A through Z. I got that book. I'm gonna give that away. I've got my retail version of my favorite teardrops. This one's loaded with 100. I can see that. I should have zoomed out. But you could trust me. There's 100 patterns in there. This isn't my retail copy for stores and all that. That's why you see a different cover. Then I have my publisher copy, which is one you probably recognize. The 100 teardrops. All right. These are a few books I'm going to be giving away. And let's see. I've got, yeah, they're all going to be signed too. This, I found this was, I used to sell patterns years ago, 04, what was that, 21 years ago, on CD. And I got a few of these. I pulled one out. So if anyone still uses a CD player for their computer, check it out. It's a collector's item, honestly. Let's see. We got a couple of these foil wheels. These are, you just kind of pin them together. Um, Reel in those unruly rolls of copper foil tape. I've never used one of these, but it probably worked pretty good. You know, if you guys have the dispensers and you want to, you know, have something to keep your foil in a neat place. These also have sealed bags, so when you're done, put the foil back and it won't tarnish on you. It's better than those crazy foil caddies where they stand up, and they're cute, you know. But the foil, if you don't seal the whole thing up or use your foil in a while, you're going to end up getting tarnished foil. And you know, the price of foil these days, you know, who needs that? Also, I've got a bunch of these really neat old glass cutters. That Red Devil, see that? Red Devil? Old wooden one with a turret wheel. Don't ask me how, you know, where they're from. I have no idea. It's got to be older than me. This is another Ruby. It's another glass company. It looks like a Red Devil. I'm sure none of these really work unless you're a machinist. You could take the bearings out and fix them up. I guess you could. Oil them really good. There's a Miller's Falls. That's different. Check that one out. And again, I'm going to be giving these items away for folks that jump in and chat. What does that say? You don't know what that says. Bill something. Phillips. Put that under the microscope. Another old one. Oops, there's one down. And this guy. This is really old. It has a hole in it. I'm thinking they kind of tied it to the sleeve so they wouldn't lose it or drop it. Look at that. I give that away. I tripped one that fell. I mean, I got so many old cutters and tools. I said, you know what? I'll let them go. Let you guys have them. This looks like an old, you know, German wooden cutter. It's I think it has a name on it. It's, oh, from CRL. This is an early CRL cutter. This is a steel wheel cutter. These actually, this one probably still works. The wheel moves on it. These actually are the best cutters for float glass. If you use like 1/4 inch, it's just a regular steel cutter, and boy, you get a hold of, you know, this cutter, run it down some float glass, it cuts like butter. Carbide actually is too sharp, so you know, if you're ever going to cut window glass, that's what you want. You want the cheap Diamantor or CRL or Fletcher, the $2, well, not a $5 cutters. Regular steel wheel. This one has a very thin profile. It's a great cutter. You cutting mirror windows. Use that. All right, I'm gonna look for other things too. See if anyone's in the chat room yet. No. All right. Well, all this information is going to be archived for later on. You can look at, but I'm only going to be giving it away to people that actually reach out and chat in the group. All right. So if you do, after everything's done, I'll contact you. You can contact me through YouTube, and we'll get your shipping address and we'll send it out to you. Alright, let's see. I got something else here I wanted to. I'm kind of buying time right now. There's nobody in the chat. Oh, yeah, I had this. This little project here. This is already, template's already cut up. It's from a video I did a while ago, and nobody claimed it. So we got that. And maybe I'll look for another few other goodies. I'll run out to the studio and try to find more stuff. But that's what I'm going to be doing today. Be giving stuff away. Alright, that looks like it's kind of off a little bit. Let's see, move it over. There we go. I'm going to close this window and get back to the forum. And let's see. Alright, I'm going to run into the forum and actually make an announcement again. Let's see. Newbies. If you guys have ever seen this live chat, basically I run through the forum. I get the, you can go with the newest, new posts or newest activity. I'm going to go with new posts. Alright, so all the newest posts to the forum will be showed. Okay. It's refreshing. Alright. I have no idea. Alright. I'm going to go back onto actual Facebook. It's a little easier for me. Alright. Let's just go check this out. Alright, let me go into the group. I'll make a post. Okay, live chat. Now, lots of goodies for participation in chat. See if I can do that. All right. Lots. All right. All right. Post that. I'm going to go back into my software. Browser. Interact. I think we're going to, this will work. And remember, just say hello. And if you got a question, please ask. I'm in a mood to answer questions. Everybody likes a good question, and a lot of people like a good answer. So here I am. I'm here for you. Just hit me up. Again, this live chat is about the group Stained Glass Patterns. We just broke 166,000 members. Alright? Look at that. And that's by no mistake. We're very, we don't really hold you back much. As long as you're you act cordial and there's no personal attacks. Any meanness. If you got an opinion about something, that's fine. Just be, make sure you think about other people. If it's a subject that gets a little heated, I know, folks get upset with politics. Um, it's part of life. I mean, I'll just put it at that. I mean, talk about politics, religion. Um, as long as you don't get nasty with it, I'm okay with it. Everybody has an opinion on this or that. Long as you don't attack somebody, call somebody an idiot, or what have you, um, it's fine. Uh, I mean, there are a lot of times, people voice opinions, and the feedback they get, it's like food for thought, right? And again, as long as it's not done, if it's done respectfully, uh, let me make sure my audio's on. I think it's on. Yeah, there it is. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say hello. Say hello. All right, and we're gonna be on for about 2 hours, so you have plenty of time to chime in. I'm gonna discuss, like I said, the forum, any subject that comes up that I find interesting, or you find interesting. Um, hit the chat, hit the site. All right. Yeah, I'll wait a little bit. Maybe I'll look around for more goodies. Let's see, what have we got in here? You do glass for many years, you end up accumulating more than you can say. I didn't even go to my studio. I have some nice old stuff out there, memorabilia. What did I have here? I've got more. Whoops! I got more books. Let's just do. There we go. Let me get this one out. I got my first spinner book and a teardrop supplementary book. Let's go back to. What did I tell you? I'm losing. Kind of tight with the spaces around here. I'm gonna go back to my camera. I've got this book. This is the 74 teardrops. It's like a supplementary book. While I was making the first 100 book, I added a few, and I said, let me add a few more to another book for the folks that have the one book. And this is still a nice book. It's got 74 patterns. You can see these are the ones inside. But I'm giving it away today. Also, we got one of my early spinner books. We got 44 patterns. So it's a nice book too. It's got all the, if I could show you. Yeah, it's jam-packed of patterns. Spinners. Yeah, it's got some of the popular ones. But anyway, there's 44 in there. Let's put that aside. Alright. So again, if you stop in, and let's see, CDWPLW. Hello, how are you? I'm going to call you C, okay? And if you folks just want to say hello, you're a little shy, you don't know what to say or have a question, that's fine. I'll say, all right, you made the attempt, you came in, and what you could do is on my YouTube channel, just contact me. You could send me a message. You could send me a message in the Facebook group. Say, I was on your chat. I am CDWP. Just let me know who you are. Shoot me a mailing address, and I'm going to send you one of these fine gifts. Yeah, they're worthy. I mean, I got glass too, but these will be, easily to send out. The books are easy to ship, and I got this pattern's actually, I hand cut this one, in a video. I'll send you the pattern, and the template's ready to go. You say, hey, I like that. You say, hey, question about the template, or this here, the foil thing. I mean, I'm pretty easy with it. You say, hey, I like that foil thing. Well, guess what? You're probably going to get it. Oh, look. I'm going to call you C. What? That's like a tongue twister. CDWPLW. I'd love to have that spinner book. Haven't made one yet, but working on one now. All right. Let's see. Spinner book. Okay, we have spinner book, and that's for, I'm going to write inside here. I don't want to mess up your book, but just hit me up and you could contact me here on YouTube and just say, I asked about the spinner book. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to sign it right here. So I signed it for you. And whether it becomes a collector's item one day, I don't know. But it's yours, okay? See? Alright, put that aside. That's for C. Alright, let's go back to the forum. And I got all these cutters, so I'm just going to say, along the way, I'll say, you know what? Anybody like this here cutter? I'll give you 2 of them. I don't know. I'll just kind of pick them out of the hat as I go. Let's go back to the forum. Alright, this is what we're here for. I'm going to interact. Okay, so one spinner book already on its way out. Just what you want to do is on YouTube again, just contact me. Give me a mailing address. I'm for real. I'm not a spammer. You can tell I'm Gary from Down East Stained Glass. And I've been online for a long time. You could trust me with, don't put your mailing address in the chat. Contact me directly, okay? You can also reach me at, I'm going to put it in the chat right here, gs@downeaststainedglass.com. Alright, that's my email. You can shoot me an email, your address, and I'll send it right out. Well, Monday, okay? Let's go. Let's go back to the group. Here we go. It's time for some chat on the group. Alright. That's what I do is I just scroll down and I kind of give my 2 cents, without going on the forum. I could do it there too, but sometimes hearing somebody talking about it and seeing how you respond in the chat, it makes it a little different. It gives a little more perspective. Alright, mailing out a piece for the first time. Bubble wrap, cardboard, bubble wrap, again, a lot of bubble wrap. This one, be careful. Alright. Well, There's a lot of really hard lessons learned from shipping. I'll tell you, that doesn't look too big. If you take that stained glass and you wrap it in bubble wrap and then encapsulate it, with really stiff cardboard or, go with the 1/8 inch masonite, something that's rigid, and tape it up really good with packing tape, and then take that wrapped up piece and put it in another box with bubble wrap or peanuts, tape it up good, and send it out. You should be fine. What you don't want to do, and it sounds crazy, but don't put glass fragile on it. You put glass fragile on it, that's like a dare for anybody who ships it. I don't care if it's the post office, UPS, FedEx. You say fragile glass, handled with care, and all that. They're gonna go and step on it, or they're gonna stomp on it until they hear the cracking. Right? I mean, it's pretty sick. And I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but it's happened too many times. And you can insure it. I mean, you could say, even the post office, you can use their ground service and insure it for $100, what have you. But just wrap it good. It should get there. If you sandwich it in something that's rigid and double wrap, double cushion it, with the bubble wrap and or peanuts later on. The rule of thumb is if you could throw it 10 feet up in the air and let it hit the ground. If you think it's going to be safe, then you're good to go. But don't put glass fragile on it. Trust me. Alright? Let's see, I'm going to say chat is... Oh wait, it's on top chat. I'm going to put it on live chat. Let's see. I think we got it now. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Go back to the browser. Interact. So I hope that helped with your shipping questions. There's other people who say the same thing. We used to ship our lamps and windows and fragile glass, don't drop, and all that. And they put forklifts right through the boxes. And they think it's funny. They said, they got insurance. Yeah, but it holds up your job for 6 months. Alright. Let's see. I got another chat. Amy's here. Say thank you for replying to the post about Southwest Art Glass yesterday. Go on a social media and bless the company before attempting. Well, emotions run high. You spend what, $40-50 on glass and it comes looking like that. I totally get it. And knee-jerk thing is you're angry with who you bought it from. But Southwest, SW Glass, they've been around for a long time. I'm sure they're going to make good on it, either a full refund. And a lot of places just say keep it, we'll send you new ones. I don't know how they're going to handle it, but I'm sure they're going to do the right thing. All right, so understand, people get, they feel like they got the raw end of the deal. It is what they're upset. So, they're planning on making a stained glass, and the glass came with all kinds of gook on it. You can understand. But I made sure that, you follow up, let Southwest, or I don't care, Delphi, whoever, Glasscraft, Mongo, let them at least give an effort to try to fix it. All right, that's only fair. I'm sure they will. All right. Oh, I was watching. We could not figure out how to comment. Go live so you could see the real time. Well, here I am. You could try it, Michael. Yeah, if you go onto the YouTube channel, you'll see a chat box. Just chat. I've never been on that receiving end, I mean, I could check it out. Let's see. I'm gonna go into my browser. Yeah, if you look to the right, you got the big box on the right. Just start where it says chat. Just start chatting. All right. I think it's really that simple. Maybe the window is not showing for some reason on your phone. I don't know. You're using a phone. Um, I hope you got it figured out. I'll be around for a while, so give it a couple of tries. Maybe refresh the browser. I don't know, but give it a try, Michael. Oh, by the way, do you like old glass cutters? I'm not gonna just limit to the chat group. I'm gonna I'm gonna send you. Nope, that same cutter decided to take a dive again. I've got a ruby. I got these two cutters. I'm gonna switch over to my phone, and this is for you, Michael. I'm gonna send you a ruby. How old? I have no idea. I've never heard of this cutter. It's a ruby, and this one, I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, put my glasses on. There you go. It says something like, it's old. This is for you, Michael, okay? Okay? Put that aside. Alright, back to the forum. Just shoot me a message, Michael, in Facebook. Give me your address and say the two glass cutters, okay? Just to remind me what I promised you, okay? Go back to forum. Alright. That was we're back. Oh, okay. Cindy said good morning. Good morning, Cindy. You've got a lot of neat little gifts here today, Cindy. If you saw earlier, I really want to give away this foiler. I'll go back to my camera. Here we go. I really want to get back to this. I really want to give this. I have two of these. I've had it from my studio when I used to sell this stuff. This one, it's like a quick connect button. It goes in the middle of this dispenser. It allows you to, it holds your foil and allow you to spin it out. And when you're done, just put the whole thing right back in a bag. And it keeps everything from tarnishing. All right. If you like that, let me know. You're making those look really. Yeah, they're from. I would say they're from like 99, 90, 2000. They're not no later than 2007. It's when 2008. I had to shut my studio down due to the economy. Really sour moment in my life. But yeah, I kept a few things. Look at the price, $4.95. Where would you find that today? Hey, you want the foiler, the dispenser? Let me know. You're making a Cleopatra fan. All right. Let's go back to the browser again, the forum. All right, here we go. Well, Nancy, you like the foiler, the what you call it, the dispenser. If you say yes, it's gonna be yours. Just let me know. I got two of them. So you want to go ahead and email me at the link above your address. I'll send it up. I like it. 5 of them. You're making 5 fans? Wow. Okay, Nancy, you got it. Shoot me an email. Say, Nancy, give me your address, and just say copper foil spinning reel, because I'm half brain dead. I'll forget, so I don't want to forget. I want to send it out your way, and just send me your mailing address, and the postage is on me, and it's my gift for you chiming in. That was pretty easy, huh? Okay. Yes, five. Wow. Let's see. You got 5. You said spinner, or was that? You said a spinner or the fan, or yeah, that could be a spinner or a fan. I like the fans because you could use it, to hold like a dangle or a prism of some sort. Let's see what we got here. I got a lot of books. I got teardrops, alphabet, teardrops, alphabet, soft copy. I'll give that one away too. I got this is really cool. I got the hard copy alphabet that's abstract. It's just the alphabet. It's kind of like it's like a token book. And then I got this really good. This one actually I like more than that one. Let me just go back to my phone camera. Here we go. This book, Alphabet and Numbers. It's got the full Art Deco alphabet and numbers, and the full abstract alphabet and numbers. And again, will be signed. If I send it out to you, I'll sign it. It's the full book. All right, you get 2 alphabets and 2 sets of 0 through 9 in this book. It's a great reference book. Easy to do. I mean, the patterns are very simple. They're designed for beginners, or if you're advanced, you can make house numbers with them. I had a lot of fun making these books. This one was a bit of a challenge, but nonetheless, it was fun to do. I do 26 letters. Make them all work together. That was the challenge. So let me go back to the forum. So yeah, the Cleopatra fan. That's I like that one a lot. It's one of my favorite fan patterns. The Cleopatra, and actually I like them all, but that one, it just felt really good making it. It just came together really nice. So, and you made them big. All right, yeah, you can make them 2 feet if you want. You can that's big, 11 and a half. Yeah, the Cleopatra, you can make a spinner with the 4-inch pattern. You make an 8-inch spinner if you cut 6 of them. And they look really nice when they're done. I've seen a few of them made. I can't say if I have a favorite because there's every one you make is different. The big part of stained glass, the pattern is just a pattern. It's what you guys do with the pattern. Once it hits your bench, your desktop, and you start cutting glass and you put it together, that's where all the creativity happens. So yeah, I just make the pattern. That's why I love seeing the work you guys do. The combinations of color. How some people are really crafty on what they, like the hangers are neat. You can, hang what you want from it. The teardrops I do, a lot of them are 6 to 9 inches in height. 7 inches. They're all different sizes. If you make them more 4 to 5 inches, you can use them as night lights. You just attach the brass clip on the back of the teardrop. You can make it a night light. You could do that with a Cleopatra hanger too. So the versatility, that's what I'm getting at. I see you make a night light out of the sailboat hanger. I was like, wow, that's really cool. I love seeing that stuff. Oh, is this setting at the bottom of YouTube screen? Oh, all right. Well, Michael may be here. Oh, Vanda. Well, that's such a pretty name. Vanda Kinnick. Wow. Good morning from Montana. That's really unusual. You mind me asking, what's the history of your name? That's something. You don't have to reply. I'm just weird. I've never heard of a Vanda. It's first for me. Well, welcome to the forum. Welcome to my YouTube channel. A lot of you guys know me as I don't know, you want to say eccentric, weird, off kilter. Yeah, I'm colorful. I don't take life too seriously. And I love, one thing that really makes me happy the most in life is seeing people make glass from my patterns. I mean, the thrill of that is unmatched for me. I really can't explain other than how it makes me happy to see people make stuff and they, look what I made. That kind of, it's a refrigerator door, what is that, syndrome. You say, look what I made. And that, I'm like, wow, that's my pattern. And that makes me feel really special. I love it. Oh, that's sweet. Your best friend from grade school. Oh. Huh, that's different. I'll tell you. I better stop with the, I'm saying, Vanda. Oh, okay. That's really nice. Your mom must have really loved her friend. All right, let's go back to the forum. How's that? We just answered a question about. Dawn has to go to bed. Have fun. She works in a hospital in high places and crazy hours. It's like, I don't know how she does it, but that's what she does. She's a real sweetheart. She probably has every pattern I ever made. I'm not saying she does have every pattern I ever made. She's my biggest fan. Well, you rest up, Dawn. A second. Sleep well. Sleep well. She's funny. She has peacocks on her farm. I don't want to dig too deep into what she does, but she's got little strange habits. I think are really cool. So, it's a Texas farmer. Not a farmer, but she's got a big ranch in Texas. She's out there like me. I love it. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Aw, thank you, Vanda. I really mean it. I love seeing the work you guys do. Let's see. Some of my projects. Vicky, last month, just made them see if I could. For standalone, able to do. Oh, look at that. It's got the polar bear with the northern star. Reminds me of the Coca-Cola commercials. Very nice. And a moose. And Larry the pup. And some shorebirds. They're cute. Good job. Look at the feet on that. I love it. No, it's very nice. I'm not picking on you. And this with the snow effect and the bear. That's very nice. All right. We've got Robin from S. Tiffany Glass Art. Yeah, it's got a cute little bird. Little video. A reel. Everything you guys, you put reels on the group. That's fine. I'm okay with it. I just get a little upset if I see at the bottom when it's loaded up with hashtags. Yeah, I don't mean to be the hard-nosed guy, but hashtags, the intention of a hashtag is to subvert indexing. Basically, you're spamming. You don't know you're doing it, but that's what you're doing. You're spamming. So basically, you're getting you're trying to manufacture clicks to your post through outside sourcing and hashtags. So some hashtag shows up somewhere else in another group. I don't know, elsewhere. It'll pull your post in, and it's almost like a you're baiting for attention. Yeah, I get it. It's what the hashtags are for. I don't like it in the group because it looks fake. It looks spammy. So, excuse me. I still have this darn cold. Like it's had 2 weeks now. It's horrible. The allergy. Hopefully it'll get better soon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it looks great. And any kind of short video or reel you want to share to the group, you want to share other public group posts, share the post. Don't grab the image and repost it as your own. That's really a no-no. That's what we see a lot of problems with other people doing that. And they say they give credit, but the thing is, like you see right here, this share button at the bottom, that'll share the whole post. So if someone clicks on it, it goes right back to S. Tiffany Glass Art. He gets full credit because you're sharing her post. That's the beauty of a public group. That's why I keep it public. The World Wide Web, the big web we are in, it's all about sharing or, open resource. I don't like these private groups. You're kind of there, you're trapped, you can't do anything. You can talk about it, but you're forced to join it to be to opine and all that. But a public group. That's why we have a public group. You share posts. You could share to the group. All right, it's all about sharing. All right, I'm gonna go back to chat again. Mom name is I'm in Mountain, Montana. Welcome, Bobby. Cool, but where about? I'm in Townsend. Oh, okay. Laurel Mountain. I have never been to Montana. That's like it's on my go-to list. You hear about the big skies in Montana. How can you not love that? I've never been to the Pacific Northwest or the northern states. I think furthest I was Kentucky, maybe Ohio. I went to Chicago, that was it, and Minnesota, and then I turned around. Yeah, big skies, and must be beautiful. Anyway, someday. I'm from New York, and I've been in North Carolina for 25 years or so, on and off. Uh, I don't think I have a North Carolinian accent or a Southern accent. Every now and then you dip in a little. I still got the New York thing. Anyway, let's go back. This is how you take a nature pen and circle. You can create a usable pen. Well, Chana, this is acceptable in a group because you're talking about patterns, design, sacred geometry. That's all acceptable. So, you shared a group, it's a public group, that's fine. I don't allow sharing of private groups. So that's one of my things. It's a public group. You got a group you want to share, and if it's private, I delete the post. I really don't like to do it, but I don't want dead end links. I don't want people to visit our forum, click on something, and say, "Oh, I can't." I got to join. No. So just don't do it. You can't be a public group, be an open book for the world. I mean, it's stained glass. No, other than the idiots that come along and try stealing posts, and that's the only downside I see. But honestly, they'll get there. It's something short-lived. This looks like this was shared from another public group. I'm allowing it because it's glass related. I'm not gonna. This looks like a post from this person, from another group. Let's see. Yeah, but it's a pretty picture. It's got the Macintosh roses and the very European looking. I'll allow it. It's almost Edwardian. And it looks to me a very 1930s Edwardian look. Kind of torn between Victorian and Deco, or somewhere thereabout. But I like it. It's very, very nice. All right. A little more chat about designing, and so yeah, that's fine. You got a lot of posts. People saw it, they're liking it, they're commenting. That's what our forum's about. Our group. And there's another one. That's fine. I have to slow you down. No, that's fine. I have these plastic circle makers. I see it on the top. They are great. If you got to do like 50, 10 millimeter circles, or 25, 50, they come all different sizes. Just kind of center it to your line and whoop, make the circle. It's a great drafting tool. All right. Where do you buy your patterns? Let me go back to chat again. Come on up. Take you Yellowstone Park. I got a video series going on with Yellowstone Park. I saw recently. I didn't see the video. It looks interesting. All right. Where do you buy your pen? Yeah, Patrick. Definitely, she does some really nice stuff. And I'll mention, yeah. Well, thankfully, there's a lot of pattern creators out there that are more than willing to share their skills and expertise and help you out along the way, even with the custom pattern. Kat, she does really well with that. I don't know where she finds the time. She must be very skilled at what she does. I get distracted too easy. and the commitment of a pattern, and the what if thinking if someone doesn't like it. I still do that. I, you make a pattern and you put it out there, and people buy them, or then they like them. All right, Kathy's got a question. Still a newbie. Can glass be too old to use? I don't think so. I think glass is something that will never get brittle. Um, I don't know if you freeze it and heat it and freeze it, you keep going back and forth. It may lose the tempering to some extent. I don't know, but the bottom line is old glass will cut. It probably cuts similar to new glass. The amount of annealing glass is being put through will really make a big difference on cuttability. Also, the density of glass, the thinner or cathedral type glass where it doesn't have any opaqueness to it tends to cut easier. Your Wismac rough rolled glass or Spectrum solid colors with no wispies in it will cut better. You start getting into hand blown glass, which will vary in thickness. You're going to vary in how difficult it is to cut, especially some of the hand blown that has little density in it. That's probably the trickiest. Next to true art glass, like Yokogani and some of the Uroboros, the real thick art glass, and Kokomo cat's paw can be, bare to cut, or ripples and all that. But cut them all. The problem is with a lot of folks end up going to using glass saws and ring saws and all that, because it's almost impossible to cut some of that art glass, because not just the texture on the back, but it has texture on the front, which your cutter wheel gets stuck and hung up in. It becomes a huge hindrance to your success of cutting. Pushing a cutter just amplifies that. If you draw a cutter, you pull more like a snapping down. You kind of cut through it, with more of a leverage working with you, not against you. You have a lot more success. I mean, I'll go into the details of draw cutting and how it works better like that, but it's more of a swipe of the cutter than trying to burn your way through it, pushing it. So if you're a pusher, you will never, and I'm not putting anyone down. Some people say, I've been pushing, yeah, that's fine. You'll never succeed 100% with cutting glass than someone who pulls the cutter, who draws the cutter. It's impossible. Just the nature of physics. If I can get a better example for you, but the best one I can say is when you draw cut, the cutter is on an angle, such an angle, and the control of your leverage over the glass with the cutter, and your toward the pressure toward you is a lot more forgiving or successful than if you push a cutter. You end up getting hung up in divots and your cutter skips and jumps, and pulling is always a better technique. I'll go more into that and actually demonstrate what I'm talking about. A good example is if you're cutting heavy rippled glass, you're going up and down a roller coaster. If you try to push it, you're almost impossible with the leverage of you're pushing forward, and the leverage of your cutter is to go up that bump in that roller coaster accurately, as compared to pulling, where you go up the cutter and you're using leverage of your arm and you're what you can see to cut, and then releasing if you need to at a point where you can't cut, in a divot or in a bad hole or a bump, and then continuing afterwards with the draw technique. It's something I could try to explain it, but more so it'd be better for me to show how it's done. I don't have any drapery glass right now or heavy art glass. I do have some heavy art glass. I could show you how that's done. And it's more of instead of a constant score, it's more of a swipe. Those swipes of the cutter. Take a little bit at a time, and then you use your grinding tools later, your grouser pliers, your grousers on the cutter, your grinder, carborundum to finalize the cut. So that's like advanced cutting. I'm not even going to show. I mean, I'll probably show you, but it's something you really have to learn how to do and be very patient with it. All right. Let's see. I get into cutting. So first lube, stuck for design. Well, that's a tough one. I'm lost. Yeah, I guess that's Hawaiian, the luau, hibiscus, plumera, bird of paradise. Yeah, I've got a bird of paradise diamond pattern. You check it out. If you ask me nicely, I'll give it to you. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll go ahead and I'll post it right here. I think I can. Let's see if it allows me. I don't know if the software will do that double dip. Oh, here we go. Let's see patterns. I don't think it's going to allow me. This software is good. I don't think it's that good. Oh, Paradise. Let's see if it pulls it up. Alright, in the meantime. Need to start pulling. I did not know that. Well, Vanda, pushing it, you could do a lot pushing a cutter. You could follow a joint template. A lot of people find it easier looking over the cutter, looking over the wheel, and doing it like you're riding a bicycle. So if it, say if it works for you, but it's going to limit your complete ability over drawing a cutter. Drawing, you have a lot more control of the cutter itself. You have a lot more control of burning through divots. There's a lot you can do with drawing the cutter. I don't think this is going to let me, so I'm going to cancel that. Let me go to the forum and do it. See if I could find this here. I should be able to find it. No, I'm not going to play. It's probably going to crash my computer. Alright. Let's go with the browser. Interact. Alright. I'm going to say, ask me in a bit. I have a BO. Bird of Paradise. Alright. I thought you were farther north, silly me. Oh, for Yellowstone. I just want to go there. It's such a giant state, Montana. Alright. Uh-oh. Someone said thanks to me. Oh, that's the groovy teardrop. That one was they showcased that pattern as a free pattern of Stained Glass News magazine. I've seen a lot of people make them now, and it just really warms me to see that. And Vicky, she's gracious to include my pattern in her publication, Stained Glass News. They've been around forever, and it really was an honor to be in the magazine. It's like a newspaper. It's like, but good job, Artie. Yeah, I saw this earlier. Oh, that's my glass rewind. This I'll add a little bit to it. The Bullseye Glass. They've been making glass since the mid to late '70s, and during the Mount St. Helens eruption, they gathered up a lot of the ash from the volcano and made these ashtrays. And I still have mine from 1980 when they gave them out. I don't. We might have bought it. I don't know. We had like a whole case of them, so everybody in the studio can get one. And anyway, I just had it for that long, 45 years. It's a nice little piece. We used to buy Bullseye by the case, and they were shorter cases but fatter. Shorter than a standard half sheet case. The full sheets are actually 7 feet long. Some of you know that. Kokomo, Wismac. You buy a full sheet of glass. It's not 32 by 42. It's 32 by 72. It's big. It's like 7. It's big. And we used to get the cases like that. They weighed upwards to 900,000 pounds for a case of glass, and we had quite a bit of it, in our spare warehouse, and wherever we could stick this stuff. A lot of times we had to get glass from back in the inventory and pull 7-foot sheets out of the cases. It was a hairy because you're standing on top of the case and pulling it out. But anyway, Bullseye used to have their cases were short, not as tall, and they were fatter, and they had a big bullseye burnt into the side of the wood. It's kind of cool looking, strapped up. And we used to go through a lot of it back in the day, and I wasn't really crazy about Bullseye. The colors were off. They looked kind of fake. It wasn't Kokomo. Kokomo had really nice glass. I mean, they still do. They just, Bullseye came up with, different type of glass that would fill in voids of, say, for background of lamps. We had one that we called Peacock. That was like a grayish, amber, white, and it was a great background glass. And the thing I liked about Bullseye, with incandescent lighting, condensant lighting, regular light bulbs, the glass itself gave a hue that would show up like a yellowish orange glow to it, which was nice. That's the Bullseye. And the glass, it tends to have like a little coating on it, and it was easy to cut, but again, the colors were secondary. I'll try to explain that. They weren't your true grass greens, so they did make a green-yellow mix that was nice, and we did use it for the lamps, but it wasn't quite the same green as Kokomo made. And Wismac was kind of in between. They made nice glass too, but they didn't have the strong colors of Kokomo. And then again, the Kokomo cat's paw glass, that just to this day, it's the best glass in my opinion. Back when Tiffany made his own glass, he bought a lot of Kokomo glass to make windows and lamps. So Kokomo's been around for a long time. They've got the formula down right. I remember in the 70s, the pink they made actually had the gold, the selenium in it. So when you held up the glass to light, you saw the gold hues come through it. And since they outlawed or stopped putting the heavy gold, the selenium in the glass, or cadmium in the glass, the that hue is now gone. It no longer existed. So you got some of that old Kokomo pink, and reds. You know what I'm talking about. It's a dead giveaway. You hold it up, oh, that's the original Kokomo. And I don't even know if I could ever find it again. But we had a lot of it. We had cases of it. And Bullseye, I guess they use a similar process with Kokomo, but they more or less work more toward the secondary colors. It's like these are false colors to me. It's like even like their rose is more of a bubble gum. Didn't have the red in it like Kokomo. It had less striation in it, and they did some kind of weird speckling on the glass. It was like I don't know. I was never a big Bullseye fan, but they did make some nice glass. Some of their model glass when they came up with the amber and white models was really nice glass to use for lamps. And the glass that I really liked from Bullseye was their end of day glass. What they did is at the end of the day, excuse me, they had glass batches they were working on throughout the day, what have you. They would make odd colors, odd glass, call it end of day or end of run, and they would, sell it to us. We'd say, what do you got? send your end of day. And my Uncle Ron, he was really particular about it. He said, I want the end of day. Because when they sent it, you never knew what you were going to get, and some of it was really nice looking glass. One piece I took affection to was the blue. It was like a Dresden blue. It's almost like a faded jean look color. And if you look at the old, ceramics, like tableware from back in the 40s and 50s, they use that Dresden blue. That Bullseye nailed it. They got the color. I could not believe it. I saw it. Oh, look at that. And we had about 8 sheets of it, and I used it for my aunt's lamp. She loved that Dresden blue. And it was that Dresden, same blue, was very popular in the 70s in conjunction with golden ambers. If you know what I'm talking about. You're my age. You think of the Dresden blue, the ambers, and the soft, not so much minty greens of the 90s, but more of a muted green of the 70s. It is a really nice color combination. And my mom had one of the lamps from my aunt. She saved it. I ended up getting it. I have it in my living room now. It's done with that blue. I have a picture of it somewhere on the phone, but at end of day, what good stuff. I think Bullseye. The thing they couldn't make it. I mean, they could probably make it again. One of the guys, the gals there that knew how to mix colors, they could probably replicate that color, but they didn't. It was like done and gone, and it didn't come back. I don't know if it's the formula. They just kind of mixed it together, and this is what happened. I'm guessing. Anyway, such is glass. All right, what do we got here? Box of one. Oh yeah, I saw that. It looks like purple. Looks like Bullseye glass. Yeah, I've seen Bullseye come around. They've actually done better with their colors. Especially with their confetti glass. Some really nice stuff. And their model glass. So I'm not throwing bullseye under the bus, but it ain't no Kokomo. Put it that way. There'll never be a Kokomo. Somebody speak high about Euroboros. Yeah, they make nice glass too, but some of it's really hard to work with as far as the color combinations, unless you're using whole background glass, like for decorative peony lamps and this and that, or for the flowers, different shades of orange, reds, and golds and pinks. Euroboros, again, their colors were kind of set on their own, and they did capture a lot of nice colors in nature, but again, nothing like Kokomo. I'll stand on it. Uh, Can I tell you, I like Kokomo. Alright, let's see. Yeah, it's nice. It's just a full fuse firing. Well, I I did a little bit of fusing years ago. I'm not a big fan of it. Um, what I do understand about fusing is it's all in the. You got to be careful about your annealing, your cooling, and your ramping. Your ramping is the rate of when you bring the temperature up, and a lot of the fusible glass, bullseyes and what have you. The temperature ranges can change depending on the coefficiencies, and you have a better soaking time or a preferred soaking time with one color over the other, or one thickness of glass over the other. Uh, it's like a hit or miss. You're best to do a steady ramp. I would do 1,000 degrees within an hour. Get your ramp up and then inspect it. You open up the kiln for a second and look. See if your glass is moving. At 1,200, most glass will get molten. It'll start around 1,000, 900. But it won't melt like you want it, like in the 12 to 1,400 degrees. Like I said, I was not a fuser. I did painting. I did a lot of actual stained glass. You get the term stained glass. It's from lead pigmented paint, powdered paint, Rouchet, using the old techniques of badger brushes and fancy scraping tools and painting with light. And a lot of folks they use the gum Arabic. It has a nice flow feature with the paint, and it adheres a little better if you're doing a multiple layer painting, but it tends to blister up if you soak it or overfire it, and it doesn't look as nice if you just go with good tracing black. They have tracing black and tracing black best, which is a little bit darker, a little richer black over a regular tracing black. And what I've learned from my grandfather, not from him, but from my uncle, who learned from his father, and they used gas kilns to paint on glass. And this kiln's from the flood. I'm telling you, it's the oldest. It's probably from 1800s. And my grandfather learned. He worked in the Tiffany Studios, and also he was apprentice of John Lafarge, who is the most famous, or one of the most famous glass painters ever in stained glass. And that's a debatable thing, but John Lafarge, my grandfather learned from him. So and one of the things that they use especially for tracing or any kind of inscriptions or heavy detailed painting, is that they use the clove oil with a quail pen, actual quail feather. My uncle actually used them still, and that was handed down from his father, my grandfather, and he learned that from John Lafarge, using quail pens. And the clove oil, or if you're going to use a badger brush It's the animal, the badger. It's the hares or ox hairs. You use the vinegar as the paint medium instead of water. We found, well, we didn't find out, that's what he used. He used vinegar. The reason why vinegar as a medium would flow up the brush a lot nicer. You can get a finer detail with it without, using clove oil. Clove oil is probably the best with a quill pen for doing fine inscriptions. Vinegar, if you're going to use regular tracing lines, decorative paint lines in stained glass, the true sense of the word, stained glass, in a kiln-fired glass. The vinegar was really nice to use. It mixed well. It smelled like vinegar smelling. And also, when you let it dry, the vinegar will allow you to do a very light matting on it. Or, a final, if you're going to do silver staining, you'd have to wait for an additional firing. Because the tracing blacks and the, your umber and bistre browns, ancient browns, they need to fire at a higher temperature, typically around 1225. 1225, 1250, in that range. And usually you could tell the glass will actually turn like a dark brown. You could see it firing. You could actually see the paint getting fired. So you don't want to go too light or too heavy. You can burn the paint. And then the silver stains, which is actually made with selenium and the cadmium, the gold, it's a very expensive powder. The glass, that paint, which is where stained glass gets its name from, the stain, the silver stain, fired at a much lower temperature, typically around 920 to 950. And that you could also tell when it's fired by the matte look it appears when you open the kiln. But the point is, you want to do your tracing blacks and your umber bisters and ancient browns. Shadowing. That's with the wide badger brushes. Do that prior to any silver staining, because you need a higher temperature to fire the paint. Silver stain is your final step, and then when that's cooled and annealed, you gotta sometimes with the especially the higher temperature enamels of 1500 degrees enamels, you gotta give it a quick cool down to about 1200, just to get the annealing better. It has a better overall look to it. It doesn't get gritty. So that's a trick with the folks that do enamel painting. And I would say it's the same true with fusible glass. The slumping, when you want a really nice finish on your glass, you want to bring it up to that temperature. Do a good soak. Actually, look at it. You got your little peak hole in your kiln. You could see it. You can see a nice bright orange. The glass is all cherry red orange, and then you could see the edging, how it's shaped together, and if it's compatible, the COE matches on the glass. You got to get a stress meter to test the COE. I know how that's done. It wasn't my thing. I wasn't a fuser. I was a painter and a lamp maker and a window maker. So I would say your fuse firing scheduling, you really have to. It depends on your kiln, and your ramping. You don't want to ramp too fast. You want to soak. Soak is the temperature you hold the kiln at. It may be a 20-minute soak, maybe an hour soak. I have no idea. But that's going to be all hit or miss, and depending on your equipment and the glass you use. So if someone had, they could say, hey, I got this fusible 94 or 90 whatever glass. I ramp it to 1 hour to 1000 or 1 hour to 1200. I soak it, and then I do a slow ramp, and I do this. There's a lot to it. So that I would honestly say something you just want to experiment with. You know, you get lucky on your first shot. I don't know. You just ask. You know, hot glass forms. You know, I kind of gave all I know about fusing glass. Same thing with blowing glass. You is a curing or annealing process. Uh, I look at the way these people blow that glass. I just shake my head. I was like, geez, look at that. And how you gotta, make sure you don't cool it too quick, and you know. All right, Lawrence, I'm getting off that subject. I'm not a professional when it comes to hot glass. I've never admitted to be. Painted glass? Yeah, I can give you that. Another thing, you don't use. I'm thinking about that gum arabic. I mean, it's good for a medium, if for painting lines, and it kind of keeps things in place. But if you get any gum in a mat, like say a Bista Brown, where you want to paint with light, you put the mat on the back of the glass or the front, and you want to remove paint to get shadowing and highlights. Gum arabic is a bear to get off the glass, and it doesn't come off as easily as just using regular water. Then you just use regular water. Don't use vinegar. And the glass, you can almost blow it off with your mouth. And the paint. And when you use a badger brush, very soft, wide badger brush, and you stipple the glass with the paint, I've literally stippled it and gave a little puff of air, just to remove sections of paint that I wanted to highlight from my pieces. And in it with a light box, so you can see it well. But just removing it with a badger brush, you may be pulling it up on some place where you don't want it. So you have to get it off the glass. So it's the fine art of painting with light. And then quail pens too. You sharpen them for, actually use them as scribing tools. Wood dowels. That I used. I took a number 10 nail and make a point out of it and put it in an old paintbrush and glue it in there. And there's my scraper. There's my on the matted paint. You scrape it with the pen, the nail, to give you really sharp highlights. Like, say if you want to do hair, or really fix up lettering that you did. And again, without using the gum arabic, which will chip as well. With the regular water, you don't have to use distilled water, just regular water, and the matting on the back of the glass. You can be very precise when you're using these scribing tools. And scribing tools don't stop with a nail or a push pin on the end of a stick or a quail pen. Different brushes. I used to take very long bristle brushes and tape the brush to make it so it's like an eraser, and use that for large areas to remove areas of light. So you're literally painting with light. It's something my grandfather did, and he learned from Lafarge. And so when I speak of me having DNA from Tiffany, or say I'm not his relative, but my grandfather's life experiences were handed down through my uncle and through me. So it's like it's been passed down, and that's a part of the DNA I speak of. Because people say, why do you YouTube? Well, I don't want it to hit a dead end. And so, if I know something, so I'm telling you techniques of painting. This is from John Lafarge, through my grandfather, through my uncle, and down to me. So you might find it interesting. Let's see. We got a horse. Let's see. I try to do the forum chat and discuss. I get on a subject. That's why doing the live thing, if I get on a subject and I start talking about it, that's the whole purpose. If I get to be boring or you say, hey, Gary, change the subject. Well, I try to be very thorough. I don't know. All right, Lawrence, working on the horse. Very nice, Lawrence. Everybody loves a horse. The background broken up nice. All right, I can't pronounce it. Finally finished. So happy. Very nice. Everybody loves butterflies. It looks like you did some wire work too, some fancy wire work. Good job. Okay, I'm gonna go back into chat, and for my folks that are sitting here, I already have one cutter wheel going out. Not cutter wheel, foil wheel. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give away another 2 glass cutters. These are antique glass cutters. I'm gonna get back to my phone camera. There you go. This one's gonna let these 2 go. These are really cool. It's an old Red Devil, and this old, you can hang it up on the wall in the studio. Okay. Give you that right there. To the next person that says, I like glass cutters. Send me glass cutters, and they will be yours. Alright, so that's how I'm going to do it now. And then again, I'll do another one. I'll put this Easy Daisy teardrop with the templates already made. If that's something you like, just let me know. So I like Daisy. Alright? And then again, in my email, just say, I like the Daisy teardrop pattern, and I'll send it your way. And I got these 2 cutters. I don't want to get confused with cutters, so if you just say I like cutters, I'll just give you what I have. All right? You won't be disappointed. Just send me email or shoot me a text in the YouTube chat thing. I guess you can do it. You can contact me. But I gave you my email. It's right here. Let's see. My email. You look up. You'll see it. Just say, yeah, I like the cutters. I'll send you the cutters. I'll send you cutters. I got a lot of stuff. You want the teardrop? You want the? Hey, how about this? My CD. This is 21 years old. It's really cool. So I used to sell these. Look at that. That's vintage. It's all there. It's on there. If you'd say, all right, CD, just let me know. All right, Vanda, you like the old cutter? Just send me an email. Say glass cutters. Alright, and I'm gonna hopefully put it aside. I don't think I'm gonna be able to give everything away, but I'll try. Want CD? Say CD. Here you go. Another one of these. These foil dispensers. It's like copper foil dispenser. Shoot me the email, and it's yours. Maybe I'll just hold off right now because I have other books too. I have my alphabet book. You just say, send me a book. You want what's the favorite teardrop book? I got this one. Okay. I'm going to be giving away. That's how you know it's going to be good rock. I mean, that's good. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do is you got to email me. I'm not going to spam you. I don't play that game. You just, that's my business email. Actually, it's a catch-all. I'm GS at downeaststainedglass.com. You say Gary at downeaststainedglass. I'll get them all. All right. Let's go back to the forum. I know, right? That's me too. You got a CD, but nothing to play it on. Somebody has a CD-ROM.
I wish you have a girl listening.
That's pretty funny. You feel dated.
Oh, that's true. But I don't know. She's playing.
Actually, I have the CD, those CDs on digital too. You want the digital? I'll send you the digital. They're kind of grainy. It's old school. I'm almost embarrassed to give it away, but it's it's more like a kind of like a memory thing. The patterns are good. You just gotta go over them. Use them as a guide. They're not as clean as the new ones I do. Oh, let me just get. I wrote my email. Let's see. Oh, it's up here. Oh, right here. I'm gonna copy that. There you go. And paste. There you go. Here's my email again. Sorry about that. You can get me there. Yeah, just say, Nancy, just say alphabet. Which one do you want? You want the Art Deco and abstract with the numbers? Or do you want the hardcover with just the abstract? Say either one. Say abstract, Art Deco. Just let me know which one you like. Alright? And thank you for joining in our chat today. I'm going to try to do more of the giveaways. I got so many books. Let's go back. We're back in the forum. Alright. Looking at beautiful butterflies. And Gilda. Let's see if I can open this up a little bit. There we go. I want to look at this. I had to open up that window a little bit. Introduce myself and share photo. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, we do mosaics here too. We're not exclusive to stained glass. We're exclusive to art glass. So anything. I like it. I like mosaics. Nice job. And Dan Nye. Soldering marathon starts tomorrow. Come on, you got this, Dan. 10 minutes, you'll be done with that. Get a 250 watt iron. Just kidding with you. Yeah, make sure you get those pins in good. And when you solder anything that's geometric like that, always line up. I can't do the pointer here, but always line up where they're going to be straight, because you can always fudge the other areas. So if they're touching each other and you have to be straight, make sure they line up. You'll see it later. But it looks good. Now you got to go make one out of lead. All right? It's easier than you think. I'm contemplating doing a lead video. There are a few really neat tricks that I know. How to do lead. There's some things that they don't teach you in the manual. And I've got some really nifty tricks for using lead. All right, I'll get to that someday.
Jordan.
All right, Marie's gonna make stained glass till she's under the grass. Well, I hope so, Marie. Good luck. Hello, I'm Marie, and second highlight. I hope you guys can see this. Let's see. Oh, so that's cute. I always say, yeah, if I wake up on the other side of the grass, I can't wake up. I'll be dead. Anyway, yeah, good luck. It's a hobby that it's a life hobby or profession skill. Yeah, me too. Ginger says me too. Uh, yeah, there's some really neat lead tricks, Cindy, that are unseen until I get to it. I could show you ways to cut lead that would really freak you out using both sides of the nipper of the glass dikes. Using glass dikes for lead was never really a thing back in the day. You always used a lead knife, Don Carlos lead knives, and wiggling the knife and cutting down. Yeah, that all works. But lead dikes have really improved the skills for doing lead work. And whether it's quarter-inch, eighth-inch lead, I would start right out of the gate with the necessity of using pattern shears, and also the necessity of making sure you use the right shear for the lead that you're using. Some of the newer, but the high heart lead has a thin core. It's very thin, so you want to use copper foil shears. You don't want to find out the hard way that if you use lead shears and you start using, say, 3/16 high heart or a 1/8 lead, that the core is very thin. If you use lead shears, it's going to be too loose. You're going to start having big spaces. And if you're doing a small project, it's not going to be noticeable. If you're doing something with a substantial amount of piecework, the idea is, and it's very important, you cut to the pattern. If you cut your templates with pattern shears, and you cut your pattern to that template, when you put the window together with lead, it should fit together perfectly. I wouldn't even say 1/8 of an inch off. When I'm done with a window, I have my setting blocks on my push pins, whatever I'm using to finish off. It is perfect because I use the right shears, I cut to the pattern, and I use the proper techniques with the lead. I have some really neat ways of using the nippers. I'm not going to show you dumb tricks like bending 1/2 inch lead by notching out a 45. No, that honestly, that I saw that recently. I was like, okay, where are you going to put that? And how is that in the real world going to be used? It's not. So I'll show you the right way to use lead nippers and the advantages of using both sides of the nipper. You can use the part that cuts out that nasty point to your advantage, and I'll show you how. Yeah. And also lead doesn't come in one flavor. There's the high tensile lead, which is harder to bend, and then your softer leads. Your higher tensile lead is more forgiving for soldering as well. So if you're using a soft lead, I get them mixed up, the Premier or the Cascade lead. I believe the Cascade has a higher tensile to it, which means it's got more tin in the lead, which is more forgiving. It's a little more rigid. If you're using for straight border work, the edging, everything's straight, you want to use a high tensile 1/4 inch. 3/16 is a little thin, unless you're using a very thin pinstripe border. But it also comes in a high tensile, and you'll know if it's high tensile if you go to stretch it and you can't stretch it, or you can barely stretch it. Yeah, I think it's the Premier lead that's softer. You pull it, you could stretch it quite a bit. And then the Cascade, the high tensile lead, it's doesn't. You might get an inch or two out of a 6 foot length, especially the 1/4 inch. And depending on how you use the nipper, and as you're actually building your window, what to look for. How to cut efficiently. Letting a window is actually easier than copper foil. Most people won't believe you. Say, "Oh, that's harder." No, it's hands down. Lead work is, I'd say, 10 times easier, but it's a lot easier than copper foil. Copper foil. I think of doing something out of foil. I'm like, ugh. I got a copper foil. I got to solder it. Lead. No, your pieces match. They fit your project. Your patterns. It should go right together. Thanks to MSV glass patterns. Very pretty. You got the sun and the moon. Should play the song by Neil Diamond. The song is called "Play Me." It's a song about the sun and the moon. Look it up. It's a great song. Alright. Next. And we got Birch on the Hill. Let's look at our time. Oh, we're an hour and 45 minutes. See, that's because I'm yammering. Let's see. Please do nice and let's do a lead video. Yep. Lead. I get my studio back in gear. I'll do a lead video and just show you some tricks. How to use your nippers actually to bend your lead. Use your nippers to, for sharp points, curves, edges, angles. I mean, there's a lot to it. And then, again, the importance of using your lead shears and your copper foil shears. Copper foil shear is used for the high heart, thin core leads. You have to use it. There's no use your lead. No, you got to use the foil shears. Right? You learn the hard way. Yeah, we got Mary. I know it. That's the Ouija thing. What do they call them? The Ouija thing. You can call it a guitar pick. I see the Ouija. Try pattern from Etsy. Thought I'd give a better. Oh yeah, better fish. Those are the coolest fish. Yeah, it looks good. You might have a little issue with that chin, the feathers coming off the chin. Yeah, you got enough solder in there, you should be alright. It's not hanging from it. It looks very pretty. That's Wismac glass. I could tell by the worms. Wismac in the tail. I guess it might be Yokogani or Oceana. And then I don't know what that blue is. It could be. Almost looks like Spectrum. With the prism, with the prism texture. Very pretty. Let's see. Mammoose. Framing supplies. The lion panel is completely finished now. The panel is backlit. You can see more the brown and purple glass. Very nice. You did a good job with that background. It's not too predictable, which I like. It's very random. Nice job. Dawn. Uh-oh, you're on your husband's Facebook. I'd be careful with that. Just kidding. Facebook, so gets a stained glass question. Way back years. High school. Well, you're old. Just kidding. I just turned 65. I'm that's not that long ago. Well, I guess it is. 25 years. Very nice. Yeah, get back in it. You finish a few projects, you know, you get right back in it and make a whole bunch more stuff. Alright, just looking for. I have a chicken to try that. No, don't be a chicken, Dan. You really should. Again, the key, real importance is use the pattern shears. Cut your glass, whether you use trace it or cut from the template. Make it exactly what your pattern, your template is. You won't have a problem. And if your window grows a little bit, you get to the point you say, I'm going over the line a little bit. Just trim it as you go. If you cut to the template, you should never have a problem. Alright? It's really important. Take the glass, put the template on it. You see that little glass over the edge? Take it off. If it's a little under, that's not good, but at least it'll fit together. You know, that's what, you know, the cement after the windows glaze, you know, glaze meaning put together. That's a term we use in the studio for years. You know, you glaze the window. That's leading. You're doing your lead work. And once you're done glazing and you're soldering and all that, and then you go to cement it. Cement is your putty. And I'll do a video on the putty too. Yeah, there's a lot of bad information about putty processes. And I mean, there's a good way, there's an okay way, there's an old way, and there's the new way that's wrong. And it's all about chemicals and chemistry of the cement. Basic chemicals are the whiting, number one, linseed oil, using raw linseed oil, which doesn't dry. Raw linseed oil, it may dry in 20 years, but it stays pliable. And you use the boiled linseed oil, which will harden up like a, you know, like a shellac. Not as hard as shellac, but it stiffens up. That's that's why I go half and half the raw, half the boiled. If I find that I need to get it to dry a little quicker, I'll throw a little bit more boiled linseed oil in the mix. I'm using a paint mixer on a drill. You whip it up real quick. If you find that it's too thick, you can thin it out. Instead of using linseed oil, use mineral spirits. You know, the old school way of, you know, they just call it spirits. You'll hear the English mention that a lot with putty. The spirits is mineral spirits, nothing else. Mineral spirits will cut with lead, with the putty and the linseed oil. Don't use anything. I've seen my dad, he used Japan dryers just to speed up a drying process because they had to get the job done. But you don't use any kind of thinners, you know, lacquer thinners, and it doesn't mix with the linseed oil. It doesn't cut with the mineral spirits, with the spirits and the oil. Good way to cheat, just get yourself some aluminum sash putty. It's already mixed up. It's got all the necessary ingredients, and you thin it out with mineral spirits to like a pancake batter consistency, and then you get it nice and fluid. So it's going to be fluid. You say, well, I can't cement with that because it's too fluid. So what you do, you take a cup of whiting, you put the whiting in it, you know, little at a time, like pancake mix. You whip it up with the paint mixer till you get a nice consistency, about that of a peanut butter consistency. And that's what you use to cement your windows with. I always start with the aluminum sash putty because it already has the linseed oil. It has it actually has other ingredients for glazing that tend to be a little bit stickier. I don't know what it is, but it's made for glazing aluminum sashes, so it sticks to aluminum. It's for metal sash glazing, meaning the putty you put on with a putty knife to metal sash windows. Don't use a DAP 33. They say you can, but it doesn't stick to metal. And let's say it. Lead is metal, and if you use DAP 33 with stained glass, you have a good chance of pulling it right back out, or it'll fail on you later on. It'll crumble out, and it'll be a mess. Use aluminum sash putty, like a DAP 1028, I believe it is, a 1024, or you can get the CRL or Soma Maca has aluminum sash putty, and when you use that, you take that sash putty and make it, you mend it into a ball in your hand, like almost like dough, and use that to glaze aluminum sashes. With sash clips and spring-loaded clips, and a glazing putty knife. It will harden eventually. It'll skim up more so than harden. Putty will stay pliable for years and years once it skims up, and then you could paint it if you want using an oil-based paint. You can't use acrylic or water-based paint on puttied windows. You also have to wait about a week for the surface to skim up. Trust me, I know. Been there, done that. But the solvents, mineral spirits is all you want. A little bit of linseed oil, which is already in it. You really don't have to add more linseed oil, but if you make your own putty, basic ingredients is whiting, which is calcium carbonate, linseed oil, 2 parts, 1 part raw, 1 part boiled, a little more raw than boiled. You do like a 60-40, and then you can also add a little lamp black, which is a paint pincher, which will darken the putty to a dark gray or almost black if you want. I wouldn't recommend doing that too dark, because it ends up getting stuck in the little bubbles on your glass and becomes a real mess. You want to use just the whiting and the linseed oil. It does a lot better job. And I tend to put a little extra whiting in my mix with the mineral spirits, because that also saves me all that mess later on using whiting to clean up the project. Being it's in the mix, it gives you more ability to clean it as you go with a rotating brush. You take the brush, you clean off the putty, come back, let it set up, and then you just take your wood fit or dowel or another brush and just give it a final scrubbing. And as you do, your final scrubbing is done with a horsehair or a natural bristle brush, where you don't put any patina, and just by the rubbing alone or polishing of your window with the clean, with no putty on it, bristled brush, natural bristled brush, you'll get the most beautiful patina you'll ever see. And key is, you don't use 60-40. 60-40 is for copper foil. 50-50 is for lead. You can use 60-40 for lead, but it will end up giving you shiny hot spots on all your joints that will stick out like a sore thumb, as well as a better chance of dripping where you don't want it, especially between lead and glass, causing stress points on the glass, which will crack. That's why you use 50-50. You want to just solder the crown of the lead. You don't want to have the solder go drip down between any voids in your lead at all, because it will put pressure on the glass below and cause problems. So yeah, 50-50, and 50-50 will also tone down nicer because it's got less tin in it. That will tin makes it all shiny, like, and never ever 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 use a patina on a cemented window, because the patina will denigrate. It'll actually dissolve the putty underneath. You want to just use a natural bristle brush and polish it. Alright? It's a quick lead lesson. And lead and cementing is really key for a nice finalized project. And on that note, was talking about brushes. Never use a nylon brush with the cement process. Don't ever use just a natural bristle. Use a regular, brush that you brush the bricks with, natural bristle, and a soft natural bristle for buffing. The problem with nylon is you can scratch the glass. Nylon, if you do a beveled glass window, or something with G&A clear, or G&A is German New Antique. It looks like the Artique from Spectrum. It's very soft glass, and if you use a nylon brush, you say, "Oh, this is great, getting all that cement out of it," and you go hold it up later, and you see all the scratches in it. Like, "Oh, look at that, it got scratches." Not good, not good. And it really messes you up. So avoid nylon brushes at all costs. You want to use a soft nylon brush to put patina on copper foiled work. You can do that. Just be gentle. You're just kind of spreading it around. And most of the time, copper foiled work will be done with opalescent glass. And if you're using bevels with copper foiled work, you can't use a nylon brush either, even though you're not scrubbing it like you would with cement. You just don't. I mean, if you're gonna use a nylon, just use very soft. Better off using a paintbrush to put the patina on. Just spray it on and use a rag to swish it on, or a sponge. Avoid the nylon brushes whenever you can. You don't want to find out you scratched your glass. Trust me. Hey, greatly appreciate it. I think it's a putty part that's getting. Actually, as a little kid, my dad come home smelling like putty. That's how I knew my dad was home. I smelled the putty. I ain't kidding. It's like, "Hey, Daddy's home. You smell the putty. He's covered in it." And stir that coffee with the lead. Don't do that. But yeah, I grew up. The smell of fresh putty. I mean, it's a memory for me. I could smell it now. I hope not. My dad visiting me from the grave. All right, let's see. We got Daisy from Ashley. I got to do another giveaway. Well, let's see. I got you. If you just email me, please, or I saw your video, or surprise me. I won't mess you up. I'll send you something nice. I forgot what I already earmarked for folks. I got a few more books. I think another 4 or 5 of those alphabet books, and if I see the email and I say, I'll send you something. All right, and I hope I don't get 100 emails. I don't know if I can afford that, but I'll do my best. Okay. Let's see. Daisy made for my lady at work. Aw. That's just, she loved it. That's cute. I like that reeded glass. It works well. It looks like a rough roll. I wish I could see this better. Somebody is sending me hearts. I like hearts. Let's see, Nancy. Yeah, that's very nice. Very pretty. I think I'm going to do a few more because I'm at my 2-hour mark. If you've been here this long, thank you for staying. If you're just jumping in, say hello. Email me. Say, "Hey, got any more gifts?" I'll send them out. I could even I might surprise you with a nice pattern pack, all digital patterns. And getting a whole pattern book, 100 teardrops in your email. How about that? Or 50. Or a bunch of spinners. I could do that. If you want digital patterns, let me know. Say, I like this pattern. Email me. Say, I always liked the pattern, but need a little help. The price of eggs this week. Ugh. I understand. All right. Let's see. Robin Rhodes. I got this. Excuse the dirty window. You should see my windows. That's very nice. What are those jewels? They look like pressed jewels, and then the center one looks like a pressed jewel as well. Bullseye actually made them in Kokomo. There's a company in Germany that makes them. It's just molten glass, and they press them in these clay forms and metal form. I don't know. They just squeeze them and they come out. It's pretty cool stuff. You'd see more of that. I'd like to see more of that. But very nice. Oh, poor Cindy. I saw this earlier. They said, they got the. I would think that some of that residue on the glass, it's pretty much from the plastic or that foam they put between the glass, keep it from scratching, and it kind of leaches out. I'm guessing. It could be bad glass. It looks like water glass. I've seen that before. Sometimes you see lines in the high areas of the water glass. That's from glass hitting glass. It's actually scratched. See that a lot. You're ordering like a case of glass and they didn't pack it too well. It happens. You can cut around it. Just bring it to their attention. Most glass companies will take care of you. They'll say, they'll just keep it. We'll send you new stuff. I'm not saying that's what they'll do, but I would do that. You come back on the forum and say, oh, this company did this for me, and well, great. That's free advertisement. Let's see, Crystal Young. Latest first time doing a freestanding glass notched in wood. Pretty pleased. Yes. I like that old wood. It looks like something you found along the beach. Very nice. Yeah, this is going to be delicate, but you have a little area with the left cattail. You got to be a little careful with that one for cracking. The rest of it looks pretty good. The beak may be a little weak, but for the most part, you're not going to paddle a canoe with it, right? It's going to be sitting on your windowsill. It should be fine. It's not going to start drooping or melting. You put wire around it. It doesn't look like you did that, but maybe you did. They have that thin restrip, they call it. You can actually go right along. We use it for lamps, the bottom of the lamps. It's brass. It's very thin, and you just run it right along the contour of the outer edge, and it kind of disappears. A little bit of solder, just to fill a void if you have it, and it's done. Where wire would tend to bump out, or if you use a hobby lead, it would make it thick. If you want it delicate, use the restrip. It comes in rolls like copper foil, but it's a lot sturdier, made of brass. They call it restrip. Yeah, try that. We use it on the bottom of our free form lamps. You say, you get all those pieces on the bottom. Well, we take the restrip and go along the whole bottom. Really makes it strong. Jared Jimenez. Oh, he thinks we're beautiful. Well, thank you. My son's name's Jared. That looks like it's three-dimensional. You got a, oh, it's a clock. Very nice. With what was that, an edging on it? A mirror edge. Very nice. I'm not mildly impressed. I'm severely impressed. Very clever. All right. Nice pattern too. Very cheerful. Yeah. Oh, okay. This is the burning question of the pattern lines. I'm gonna end it on this one. Okay, guys. Um, I'm not gonna go long, but the problem with enlarging a pattern. Let's see how. All right. Unless you draw the pattern in full size, you're gonna have an issue with when you blow it up. The lines get thicker. Now, there are different ways of fixing that. One is using software that will actually, put a stroke down. A stroke is the perimeter of each segment, and you could set the stroke to how thick you want it and what color. So if you have black lines of your pattern, you could actually do a 1 pixel stroke out of white, and it'll leave a thin line for you. Right, that's one way. Another way is you actually design it using software that allows you to change the line widths, but that could be almost impossible if you're using a pattern that's already drawn and in black and white. You just can't do it. So the first way of using a stroke tool, or you'd have to go to every segment, actually stroke every pattern, to remove excess thickness of the line. It can be done. The other way is just enlarge the pattern and then just go right down the center. Just, go in the center. Look, the line's not going to be that thick. If you're using it for a Cricut machine or, plotter of some sort, you're kind of at the mercy of the thickness of the line. So you may have to go back into the software. I use Pixelmator Pro. You could do the magic selection tool, a segment of the design, a pattern, say what your actual glass would be, select it, and hit the stroke, the stroke option. It's a left mouse click, and you say stroke with brush, and then you select, if your field is white, your pattern paper is white, you select white, and you can go 1/2 of a pixel if you want. And then you hit that stroke, and it'll actually make that line thinner. It works pretty good. I do it all the time, actually, when I get a little aggressive with the pen. I also use these other tools, nudge and pinch, that will do that as well. That's not going to give you a consistent line, say with the stroke brush. All right. Now, Pixelmator uses that. You could use it with Photoshop. Other Adobe software, Corel. I think Inkscape does it. They all have stroke tools. The other way, I used to have old Photoshop. They called it Photo Deluxe. It came free with the computers I'm going back to the 90s. Photo Deluxe. What it did is, if you could select the line, all the lines, you could select it, and then say, add a border on the inside, and say how thick. 1 pixel, or 2 pixels, or 1.5 pixels. It'll actually create a border centered on all your lines. What you could do is, instead of making it black, you make it red. And then you can come back and select that new borderline that you have, copy and paste it in a new field or page or what have you, and get your thinner lines. That's another way of doing it. I used to do that years ago to get the lines thinner. a lot of times they become bitmap. So when you want to go into SVG uh, quality, you're not gonna be able to do that unless you already converted earlier. As raster images are all chopped up and blocky. You can't take unless you convert a raster to SVG and do it that way. The computer will relearn the pixel and clean it up for you. So that's something you'd have to play with. Software, I can do it for you if you need it. I mean, I just as well take a pattern, print it, tone it down so I can change the contrast so I can uh, draw over it with a gel pen and create a new line. The gel pen will be roughly 1.5 pixels wide, which is 2 pixels is good for any kind of foil work. 1.5 will give you real accuracy of what you need to do. So I can do that. The problem again is if you want to make a pattern 3 feet wide and 6 feet tall, you're not going to be able to do that. Unless, you go with the software that will put a trace edge or a stroke line for you, and then bring it into a larger format document. Say in Apple they have Pages, you can make your document the size you need, 3 foot by 4 foot, and import it. And that should retain the line size. Software like Dragonfly software will also do it. And I think, what's the other one? Post or something. What is that? I forget. The one, Rapid Resizing. Yeah. I don't know if they retain the line widths as good as Dragonfly, but you're going to have limitations with either one because it's going to try to redraw your pattern for you. So you'd be back to step one, reconfiguring your design. So best way is to get software that will set a stroke for you, a stroke line. It takes a little time to do, especially if you have something with 100 patterns in it. There's something with 20, 30 patterns. It's pretty quick to do. All right. Oh, you're welcome, Nancy. I see you in the chat. All right. So that's going to be today's chat at the forum. I have stained glassers. That's my brother Guy, his group. I used to bounce around. I made Guy this group. Just here's your own group. I'll give you a group. But yeah, this pretty much the same as stained glass patterns, but yeah, people get a niche. They want to hang out somewhere. It's all good. It's another public group. You got people who are comfortable. They want to talk about different subjects, and it's all good. It's all good. All right, so maybe I'll do a little bit more stained glassers. I'm going to sign off. You guys have a good day, and remember, email me. Just say, hey, I saw the chat, and I'm not going to check back and see if you chatted or not. But, I'll send you a little gift for showing up and thinking of me. Okay? And with that, I'm going to sign off. You folks have a great day, and we'll see you next time. And I actually enjoy giving stuff away, so it's really not, I'm not really putting myself out a whole lot. I enjoy it, all right? You get my book, it's holding, look what I got in the mail. It just puts me in a special place, all right? So I hope you like your gifts, and we'll see you next time. I still think I have that. I really want to give this one away because I've been holding on. It's the Easy Daisy Teardrop pattern. It's already cut. Templates are already made. Cut by me with foil shears. ready to go. See, right here, all ready to go. You email me, say, I want to make that daisy, right? I want to give that one away, and I want to give more patterns away. So say, I love these patterns. Just say, I love the whatever pattern. I got over 400 and something, a lot. Right? And I'll be more than happy to send it your way. All right? On that, I'm going to hang up, and you guys have a great day. Yeah, I hope, Vanda, I hope I get not off the subject, but I kind of go along with stuff. I just it's like, don't talk about putty and lead. You're in for it. All right, I'm going to let you go. Everybody have a nice day, and thanks again.